Guys, before we can use trig to help us to work out the length of the sides of triangles or the angles in a triangle, you need to be able to use your calculator. Now on your calculator you would probably by now have seen the buttons sine, cos and tan, and on page 77 of your workbook it shows you how you can work out sine of 40 degrees. The buttons that we are interested in when doing trig are the sine, cos and tan buttons, and the ones just above the sine, cos and tan. We will also be using the shift button to get to the ones that are just above the sine, cos and tan. That we will only use when we are trying to find an angle. An important thing to remember is whenever you're doing trig, make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. So you want that little D to be shown on the screen. So in order to work out sine 40, as it's shown on page 77, we press the sine button and then 40 degrees. So this is exactly as it is shown in the question, and it's shown exactly in the same way on the calculator. We can then hit the equals button, and that will give us the ratio of sine of 40 degrees. Usually you will be expected to round this off, but they will tell you in the question how many places to round off. So we can use the calculator to give us the value of sine of 40 immediately just by pressing all the appropriate calculator keys. We are now going to do some of the calculations in your workbook using our calculator to help us to work out the answers. This is all on page 78 of your workbook. We are first asked to evaluate tan of 54,3, and they would like it rounded off to 3 decimal places. So all we are going to do is write down the question exactly as it's given to us. So I'm going to type in tan and then my degree, which is 54,3, and hit the equals button, and we get an answer of 1,392 to the 3rd decimal place. So tan of 54,3 will be 1,392, correct to 3 decimal places. And as you can see, guys, you can literally write down the question exactly as it is given to you in your question. Write it exactly like that in your calculator, and you will be able to get your answers. So the next one, question 2, 3 over cos 45. Once again, we're going to type it into our calculator now. Most of the new calculators have a fraction button, so you can actually hit the fraction button to make the screen appear exactly as your question appears. So I can write this as 3 over cos 45, hit the equal button, and I get an answer of 3 root 2, but we want this to 3 decimal places, so therefore I just need to change that, and my answer would be 4,243. Alright, the next one, once again, it's very easy using our calculator. We type it in exactly as we see it, and it's going to become 3 sine 30, close your bracket, over 5 tan of 10 degrees. And as you can see, once again, your calculator screen reflects the question that is given to you. And to 3 decimal places, this answer will be 1,701. And then, guys, the last part of this, which is part 4, the question is written as sine squared 80. Now, it's only in trigonometry that we are allowed to put the square in the position that it is. What it means is that we are taking the value of sine 80 and we are timesing it to itself. But for trig purposes, we write this as sine squared 80, as this is a more condensed form, and we understand it to mean sine 80 times sine 80. In your calculator, you cannot write sine squared 80 in that way. What you would have to do, so we call up the calculator, we use a bracket, and we need to square the value of sine 80. So we go sine of 80, and we need to square that entire bracket. So we hit the squared button, and then press equals, and our answer here is 0,97 correct to 3 decimal places. So this is 0,970 correct to 3 decimal places. And once again, you saw that we were not able to put the square into the calculator as it's written. We had to open a bracket, write sine 80, and then square that entire ratio.